Good evening, everyone. Well, it's evening time for me. You may be listening to this any time of day. Welcome back to my story time. Today I'm going to be continuing our Christmas journey. We are reading 25 Christmas books for the month of December. Actually, they're going to be Christmas, winter, snow themed books. But today we are reading Santa is Coming to West Virginia. This book is written by Steve Smallman and illustrated by Robert Dunn and Stefano Aslan. So we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, here we go. Well, boomed Santa, have all the children from West Virginia been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, teetering piles of letters that the children of West Virginia had sent him. Mostly? Asked Santa, looking over top of his glasses. Yes, but they've all been especially good in the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we better get their presents loaded up. Even though the sack of presents was really, really big, and the elves were really, really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it into Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack onto one little sleigh, even they didn't know, but somehow they did. Splendid, boomed Santa. We are ready to go. Not quite, Santa, said the little old elf. One of our reindeer is missing. Missing? Which reindeer is missing? Asked Santa. The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight. I've called him, but just then a young reindeer strolled up, munching on a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. But the youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the old elf calling. Oh, well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out his Santa nav and tapped the coordinates for West Virginia. This will guide us to West Virginia in no time. With the flick of the reins and the jerk of the harness, off they went, racing through the sky. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. We'll soon have these presents delivered to the mountain state. Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night, heading south across the Arctic Ocean. On they flew in the wintry air, crossing over Canada. In the wink of an eye, the sleigh was flying above the Great Lakes and on over Ohio. The youngest reindeer was very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole before. They had just crossed over the Ohio River when suddenly they ran into a blizzard. Snowflakes whirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. In 2 miles, said the Santa nav in a bossy lady's voice. Keep left at the next star." "But, ma'am," Santa blustered, "I can't see any stars in all of this snow." Soon they were hopelessly lost. Then, through the howling blizzard, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong! He looked over the old reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. The youngest reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with the little box with buttons on it. With a flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off toward the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. "Whoa!" cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. "What's going on?" Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. "Well done, young reindeer," he shouted cheerfully. "It must be the Sacred Heart Co-Cathedral in Charleston. Don't worry, children, Santa is coming." Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the snow clouds. "You have arrived," said the Santa nav unhelpfully. Finally, when the snow had died down and the clouds parted, Santa discovered exactly where they were. Stuck right at the very top of the Christmas tree near West Virginia Capitol Complex. "Everybody pull!" The reindeer pulled with all of their might until at last, with a screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the Christmas tree and Santa steered them safely over the Clay Center and the Kanawha Public Library, along the Kanawha River, past South Charleston, above Dunbar, and down into Shawnee Park. Luckily, there was no real damage done, but the packages had all been jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted out the presents into order again. "All right," said Santa. "Thanks to this young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming." Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over West Virginia, popping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could go. There were big chimneys in Clarksburg and small chimneys in Beckley. He squeezed down thin chimneys in Weirton and plummeted down fat chimneys in Parkersburg. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all. And it looked like the children in West Virginia were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a bit weary and quite hungry too. In the house, after Santa delved inside his sack for packages of every shape and size, he piled them under the Christmas trees and carefully filled up the stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of West Virginia had left out a large plate of cookies, a small glass of milk, and a big, crunchy carrot. Santa took a little bite out of each cookie and a tiny sip of milk, wiped his beard, and popped the carrots into his sack. From Huntington to Morgantown, from Martinsburg to Lewisburg, from Wheeling to Eleanor, and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in West Virginia. Santa delivered presents to Andrew, Allison, Anna, Arabella, Archie, Ashley, and the list went on. and on. Zach, Zara, Zeb, Zoe, Zybil. Finally, Santa delivered the last present on his long West Virginia list. Great moons and stars, sighed Santa. It's past midnight, and my sack seems as heavy as ever. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. Santa opened his sack to check, but it was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. Santa divided the carrots among the reindeer. Well done, he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on the nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset his Santa nav once more to the North Pole. And soon they were speeding along New River Gorge, over Babcock State Park, past Harper's Ferry, and out along the East Coast through the crisp, starry nights. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. Merry Christmas, West Virginia. That's the end of our story for today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed reading it to you. I hope you all are enjoying my channel. I am truly happy that I decided to do this so you guys can have some great stories to listen to. All right, I'll see you again soon.